All right, I think we're live. Took like a full minute. I had to get some noties out. Um, let me make sure real quick this works. It does. Okay. All right, we're good. Capture moments as they happen. Stream arcers. Okay, I don't know what that was. All right, whatever. Um, hold on. All right, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. It's been a while since I did a video, or any kind of stream for that matter. It's been a while, so just thought I'd do one. We're literally in the last day of April, so um, just thought I'd get this video out of the way. So might as well just get started. Um, I got a couple movies on here I want to talk about. There's some movies I haven't seen yet, unfortunately, that we may have to go into eventually. But yeah, I'm gonna just mention the movies I haven't seen yet that there will eventually be a review on, whether it be a YouTube short or a regular full review. I'm going to mention those movies now, just so that way you have an idea for what the next 2 months are most likely going to be with like different videos and stuff like that. I have here Dead Man's Wire, The Rip, Night Patrol, Shelter, The Moment, The Strangers Chapter 3, Solo Mio, Crime 101, How to Make a Killing, Forbidden Fruits, Mermaid, Pizza Movie, You, Me, and Tuscany, Faces of Death, the remake, The Christophers, Beast, Balls Up, and Mother Mary. Those movies I just mentioned, um, they're not going to get a review, at least not at this very moment, but those are reviews that will be coming eventually within the next, like, hopefully 2 months. If not, then you can go ahead and mock me in the comments. I don't know. The movies we are going to talk about today on today's stream are Hoppers, The Bride, Slanted, Project Hail Mary, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, The Pow Pow Fish, They Will Kill You, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, The Drama, Bus Boys, and Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Those are the movies we are going to be talking about today. All right? So, with all that out of the way, I'm just going to hop right into it. So, pun intended, because our first movie is Hoppers. Hoppers is a Disney movie about a spoilers, by the way, for any movies I'm going to mention today. So just spoilers ahead. Um, excuse me. So Hoppers is about a woman who is advocating for this dam. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? How you doing? So basically, Hoppers is about a woman trying to save this dam made by some beavers, because that's like it was like a piece of her memory when she was a kid hanging with her grandma. So she's trying to advocate to save the dam. She ends up becoming a beaver. I don't know. I'm not really worried about that right now. I'm trying to just get this stream out of the way. So um, basically, this woman becomes a beaver. It's not really like some kind of weird thing. She just becomes like a robotic beaver, but it's made to look like a real beaver, and that's a little weird. Whatever. I'm not gonna overthink it, but yeah, these scientists made robot animals. They've tried so many times to try to perfect it. They finally did. This girl actually became a beaver and became friends with the king, who's played by Bobby Monahan, which is an amazing casting choice in my opinion. In fact, the majority of the voice cast is pretty solid. Um, Maybe there's a couple people I'm like, okay, but for the most part, they're pretty solid. Um, I mean, in terms of a story, I mean, like, she's just saving the dam and saving, basically, like, the wildlife in general. And they're kind of creative, but it's not like a memorable Disney movie for the future. You know what I mean? I mean, it's got a good message. It's got a good environmental message, but it's not like the greatest Disney movie ever. I mean, it's good, wouldn't say it's great, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute, charming, funny. You know, thought it was kind of entertaining. What am I gonna give this Hopper's rating? I'm gonna give it like a hold on. Let's give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, I can't give this an 8 because it's Disney. But they at least the Pixar portion of Disney. But at least they're trying to figure something out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next we have here The Bride. Oh boy, where do I start with The Bride? So if you're not aware of the story of Frankenstein, you might be living under a rock. If you are, then we got a problem. Frankenstein is about a creature that comes to life and he tortures this whole town. They got an angry mob after him. You already know the story, yada, yada, yada. The Bride is the sequel. It's about him creating a wife. Now, this is an adaptation of that story. And it's so strange of a concept. Just the idea that you could combine elements of Bonnie and Clyde with Frankenstein is already a bad recipe. Like, it is a recipe for disaster. It is so bad that there's actually some good somewhere in there. Like, the supporting cast is actually underrated. They're actually pretty good. Maybe too good. Because the two leads of Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale are so unbearably boring that not even Jessie Buckley's Oscar win is worthy of being promoted next to this pile of dump. Or this pile of doo-doo. This pile of horse caca. It is so unbearably boring that it shouldn't even be like a mobster-esque kind of movie. Or like set in the 1930s. They're already aware Frankenstein exists. Now they're like, who's this lady next to him? And here's the crazy part: the wife was originally someone already alive, but possessed by the author Mary Shelley. Like, what are we doing? That's a stupid idea. Who thought we could make demon possession in Frankenstein? No, that's dumb. Ghosts, mobsters. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? We made a Bonnie and Clyde version of Frankenstein, and it's awful. The weird thing is, though, the only good I can give it is, other than the strangely good makeup design, is the costumes and the sets. At least they're good. Other than that, this movie's like horse garbage. Like, it's bad. Like, it's actually like terrible. I'm not spelling this correctly. There we go. I forgot the exclamation mark because it's The Bride, the mother effing bride. So I'm giving this like a 2. This is getting a 2 out of 10. Like, it's just bad. It's so bad. I just don't have words. It's so bad. But at least like everything outside of the acting and even the supporting cast is actually like worth it. Because some of the supporting cast, again, they do good, and then the others, they're just there. They exist. So yeah, I'm giving that a 2 out of 10. We got here Slanted. Slanted is about a Chinese American woman or Chinese American girl, and she wants to be a white woman because she thinks, oh, I've been offended so many times and like I've been bullied nonstop for my race. I think I'm going to be a white woman. And it's the substance in a teenage school setting? Sure. Like, I don't hate the substance. I think the substance is a pretty good movie. I'm just kind of taken aback that it's a little too, it's not as gross as the substance, but it's kind of unsettling just as much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate the movie. Like, there's some funny moments, there's some good drama in there. At one point they have a house party at this like rich lady's house, and she's on vacation, and then like I can't say so much. I can only say as much as I can about this movie. It is an experience, I will say. But in a weird way, the lead acting ain't bad, but McKenna Grace kind of slows the movie down a little bit, just a little bit. I think the parents do a great job. The lead characters' parents, I think they do a great job. Um, you feel like just their emotions as a whole throughout the entire movie. Um, I think the whole concept of what was it, race modification, something like that, gentric modification. I don't remember the term, but something like that. Just the idea of it is insane to me. Um, Now, they didn't go crazy with the body horror. I'll give them that. They actually didn't go as crazy as I thought they would. The trailer made it seem a little worse, but it's not horrible. But you do see McKenna Grace with some like tan marks here and there. So they really went off with the makeup on this one. Um, but I will say, as a drama, not bad. As a comedy, could be better. Could be worse though. You know what I mean? But I didn't mind it. I thought Slanted was alright. I thought it was kind of entertaining. I give it it was kind of above mid, but I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Like I can't give it a 7. You know what I mean? It's not as funny as you would think it is. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of good drama. There's some other good casting, just in that movie. But yeah, 6.5 is what I'm gonna give it. Next, we have Project Hail Mary. This was a big one. As I am recording this video right now, it has made over $600 million. Actually, maybe over 500 million at the box office. It might have already hit 600 million. I don't know. It has made so much money, not just from Ryan Gosling's star power. The main selling point has been this creature Rocky. Single-handedly, not only one of the most adorable creatures I have ever seen in a movie, but one of the most captivating movies I have truly ever experienced. There is one downside. The ending goes a little too long. If the movie was about 2 hours and 15 minutes, perfect runtime. It's about maybe 10, 15 minutes too long. Maybe at least 10. If it was 2 hours and 20 minutes, I wouldn't be complaining that much. But the ending goes a little too long. Just a little bit. But it is like this intense sci-fi movie that's like almost to the edge of your seat. And it is such an experience of a movie. And if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. So, I mean, I think Ryan Gosling does a great job. I think the creature Rocky does a great job. And I heard that the guy who controlled the puppeteering to Rocky, he might get an Oscar nomination. I mean, give him a special achievement Oscar. You know what I mean? Bring that back. Maybe give it to him instead, because that would be awesome. But if he gets a supporting actor nomination, that's huge. So, Project Hail Mary, I'm gonna give it a 9, because the ending goes a little too long, and the main selling point has been the creature, not really Ryan Gosling. Though Ryan Gosling, great actor. We all know how great he is. Next we have here. And 9 out of 10 for Project Hail Mary. Again, go check it out if you haven't already. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. So, Ready or Not, if you're not aware, it follows around this girl who gets married into a devilish cult. And they play this game for any married couple or anything like that, and they have to kill each other off, essentially. Or at least they have to kill the wife, I think, or something like that, just to keep her soul. Something, I don't remember. It's been so long since I saw the first movie, but the second movie now revolves around that same girl from the first movie, the events after the first movie. And now the sisters, she's got a sister, she's involved, and they're going to take down this family. And then there's another family, I think, involved. There's like a bunch of hitmen or hit women after them. The cult is much larger, like really large. Elijah Wood's in it for some reason, because of course. It's just a all around great time at the movies, and it is such a like gory mess in like all the right ways. And I'll get back to gore in a little bit because there's another movie with a lot of gore I do want to get into. But yeah, like it was fun, you know. I mean, like I'm not too crazy about gore unless it's used properly, and I think this movie did a pretty solid job with that. You know what I mean? Thought the action was pretty good. I thought that there were some good acting choices or some good acting dialogue from Catherine Newton and Samara Weaving. I almost forgot her name. That's awesome. Yeah, Ready or Not to, Here I Come. I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10. Like I enjoyed it, but like I think I kind of preferred the first movie just a little bit more. Like I actually think I like the. No, actually, no, that's a lie. I think I like this one more, but only like a tad bit. Like that one's like a 7. This one's like an 8. Because at least I was introduced to some characters, and then they were all killed off. You know what I mean? But I think the action's worth it with this one. I actually really enjoyed it, so I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10. Uh, the Pow Pow Fish. Ugh. The Pow Pow Fish. Who thought adapting those books was a good idea? Or even just the book as a whole? Who thought that was a good idea? Who sat in a studio meeting and said, you know what we need to do? We need to adapt the Pow Pow Fish. What's that? No idea. Let's adapt it anyway. Perfect. What are we doing? Did we just run out of ideas? Are we just finding any IP? We're now using children's books. Again. What are we doing? What are we doing? Stop. Think of something different. Kids don't want to be engaged by fish. The fish is not engaging. And Nick Offerman is a horrible choice for a lead. Oh my God. Good Lord Almighty. And then, like, there's this seahorse that's, like, following him around, like, accompanying him. Oh my God. She is incredibly annoying. It's like 2 high-pitched elves are in my ears pinching at, like, every single piece of it. Or like a piece of my ear hairs. It's like, beep, 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 beep. Like, I swear to God. So annoying. She's incredibly annoying. I don't even remember her name, and that's probably good that I don't. But, like, just the lead of the Pow Pow Fish. Most boring character I have ever seen in a kid's movie. Most boring character ever. Oh my God, how was there a book of this? How? How is that even possible? And then, like, not even to mention Jordan Sparks. The Jordan Sparks. What does love always feel like? A battlefield, a battlefield, a battlefield. Why is she in this? What? How much money did you pay her to be in this piece of crap? How much did you pay her? How much did you pay her? Answer me that. How is that possible? She hasn't been irrelevant since she was on The Masked Singer a couple years ago. Or even, maybe we'll go further, since like the maybe early 2010s, late 2000s. What are we doing? She's incredibly washed. And that's not talking about her beauty. She is a gorgeous human being. But, like, she hasn't done anything productive in, like, years. It is insane. Just absolutely insane. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm going to give this rating. 0.5 out of 10. This is, I'm not even kidding, one of the most egregious animated movies I have ever watched. The fact that there is some kind of a redeeming quality, and even the fact that it's not even a magical fish that's able to help the Pow Pow Fish at any point. She's just a normal fish. This is unbearably one of the worst animated movies I have ever watched. And the animation's just whatever. Nothing to write home about. But the fact that you made horrible casting choices and nobody even cares about this, I can see why. 0.5 out of 10 is what I'm giving it. It's one of the worst movies I've ever watched. And maybe the humor was like funny, but not really funny. Let's be honest. Next we have They Will Kill You. Now, like I mentioned earlier with Ready or Not 2, there is a lot of gore. I would argue there's more gore in this movie than there is in Ready or Not 2. I might debate that one. I don't know. Um, but They Will Kill You revolves around a girl, a lady, who got arrested, and now she's posing as another lady who went missing. And she goes into this like temple of Satan called the Virgil in the middle of New York, and she has to save her sister from a bunch of Satanists. That's it. That's the whole movie. And they basically sold their soul in order to stay immortal, and like they can like reincarnate body parts, like meld everything back together. It's so gross to watch, in like a good way, of course. Now, as a action movie, it's not bad. It just feels like I'm watching Planet Terror or something like that. You know what I mean? It actually kind of feels like I'm watching Ready or Not too. Actually, it's kind of weird. And Zazie Beetz is a decent lead. I mean, like the whole way, I'm like, what's the plot twist? Like, is there another plot twist you're not telling me? And I guess like the plot twist of her becoming like immortal, and then like she actually wrote her sister's name instead. Crazy, crazy plot twist. Other than that, the movie's kind of enjoyable. I don't think it's as good as Ready or Not 2, and I actually like that movie more. But I enjoyed it just as much as I did the other one. I'll give this like a 7.5 out of 10. My only big complaint: the pig head is stupid. That's the only complaint I really have. Like that's the most major complaint is a couple of the supporting characters kind of stink. They're kind of boring and lame, like whatever. Even that Lily, like I didn't like her. She was boring. But like the pighead is stupid. The pighead is dumb. Other than that, actually entertaining movie. So I didn't hate it as much as I thought. Well, hate's a strong word. I thought I was gonna be like super bored. I wasn't as bored as I thought. I actually didn't mind the action. I thought the pacing was good. The camera work was all right. But I prefer Ready or Not 2 over this. So yeah, Ready or Not. No, not Ready or Not. They Will Kill You. 7 out of 10. Next we have the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now I didn't mention my review of the first Mario movie, so I'm going to give my opinion on that first. If you don't know how the Mario movies at all, play the games and you'll have an understanding. Plumber saves princess. That's it. That's the story. That's all you need to know. They've made complaints for years that both Mario movies don't have a story. They don't have this and that and this and that. Here's what I will say. I've been a big Nintendo fan since I was a little kid. I don't care about a story for Mario. Okay, you made a decent enough one with the first movie. Second movie was a little better. I'm gonna make a big hot take. The first movie is like a 7. This one might be a little higher. In fact, I don't care that you didn't use Rosalina enough. I am a little sad, but I'm not surprised. They wanted to keep the runtime like at a specific time slot because most children aren't gonna sit through a long movie. That's just kind of how it is. However, a lot of kids sat through Wicked, so I don't know what that means. But most kids will actually sit through at least maybe like I don't know, maybe like an hour 50 at the most for a kids movie, and Mario tends to be more, for kids, or at least this variation of Mario. The Mario that I knew as a kid, what I mean, like there were some teenagers that probably played Mario, but not like on the DS. Maybe I don't know, but the Mario Galaxy movie is more about not just saving Peach. It's saving Rosalina from being captured by Bowser Jr. The first movie incorporated elements of the first game, maybe elements of Wrecking Crew, Donkey Kong. There's a couple other Mario games I'm forgetting. I'm definitely forgetting a couple. The second movie, the Galaxy movie, it incorporates Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Odyssey. You could just tell those are the 3 big ones. And then the big reveal, Fox McCloud from Star Fox. Because of course. Because why not? You might want to shave. What you mean? It blends with my shirt. Look, see? My beard blends with my shirt. Anyway, I mean, you don't really need to go crazy about the script, and a lot of critics do, and they're not in the head. They're not right in the head. Um, so I mean, here's what I'll say. My rating for this is a lot higher than what most critics are giving it because the critics just don't play video games or don't have fun. And I even maybe briefly mentioned it about the Michael movie, but I probably didn't. I don't know. Critics don't like fun. They don't like fun, and I think the critics are bored. I think they're bored. Some movies they're like mesmerized, and others they're just like they're bored out of their minds, which I don't understand. So for the Mario Galaxy movie, I'm giving it like your what? Your feel? What is a feel? Okay, I don't even know what you're talking about. Mario Galaxy movie, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Um, I mean, I'm giving it higher than what most people are giving it. Some people are like, it's a 6, 7. I'm a grown ass man saying that's crazy, but yeah, I'm giving it 8 out of 10. You know, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I had a pretty good time with it. Um, Not really any crazy complaints other than Rosalina not getting enough screen time. Maybe condense it to like an hour 55, maybe 2 hours, just so that way I can get to know the characters more. You just use Ward and Birdo for just like one scene. That's it. Like one really drawn out scene. That's it. Which kind of sucks, but whatever. I still enjoyed it. You're hideous. You might be hideous. Call me hideous. You might be hideous. It's not the Miyagi-Do way. Anyway, the drama. The drama is about a guy and girl. They get engaged. They're getting ready for a wedding. Seems simple, right? Not quite. This has been marketed as a dark rom-com. I would argue that the drama isn't even romantic in any slight way. This is the darkest dramedy I have ever watched in my entire life. Because this whole trailer, this whole movie had a big secret in the trailer that is going to change the whole movie. About 30 minutes into the movie, maybe 25, 30 minutes into the movie, the secret, I'm going to spoil it, Zendaya's character almost planned, I look like I'm 15. What? If I shave the beard, maybe I look like I'm 15. What are you You look like you're 15. Anyway, the secret, spoiler, Zendaya's character almost attempted something to do with a weapon in a certain setting. Yeah. Not a good look. And the whole movie is Robert Pattinson's character's like, what? What? Why were you going to do this? Why would you think about this? And that's the whole movie. That's it. It's just Robert Pattinson going nuts over one really big secret. That's it. And then Zendaya's character is just brushing it off like it's nothing. Like, no. That's so much wrong. Because, like, the first 25, 30 minutes, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of hooked on to see where this is going. Oh. You know what I mean? And then, like, when we get to the wedding scene, it's kind of funny, right? I mean, like, Robert Pattinson's getting punched in the face by another guy because he almost made love to another lady that was his girlfriend. Like, she worked in the library with him, and then, like, she's just kind of like, why are you cheating on me? Oh my god. And then like, what frustrates me the most is Zendaya's character almost sounds like she's like a teacher, or she's like, why don't we try that again? And then Charlie will be like having a mental breakdown. Next minute he'll be like super calm after she says that. Like, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that in a movie. Now, is it funny? At some points, yeah, but the comedy doesn't really exist for like half the movie. Half the movie you're supposed to laugh, but it doesn't work. The secret that's revealed, it just kind of slows the movie down. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't love the movie. A lot of people actually did kind of enjoy it, and other people were kind of like, whatever. And I'm one of those people. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I want to laugh at it. I want to be somewhat entertained. And I don't know. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give it like a 6 out of 10. I wish I found it funny. Some people I actually read about. They seem to understand what was going on. I didn't. Maybe it's because I don't have a partner myself, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe it's not my kind of movie. I don't know. Next we got here Bus Boys. Now, if you were expecting a very raunchy comedy, this is the movie for you. I am a big fan of Bus Boys. I would argue this is one of the funniest movies I have ever seen. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna make that hot take. The critics may be harsh. I'm actually gonna check the Rotten Tomatoes rating real quick. Let me turn on the brightness. I'm gonna check what they rated it on Rotten Tomatoes. Because if they rated it low, I won't. Really? Oh. Oh. The popcorn rating is 65. Oh. Yeah, some critics are not really happy about it. There's only 3 reviews on it, so that's not a good sign. Um, Look, Bus Boys, it's funny for a sort of demographic, and I'm a part of that demographic. I wanted to insult me to my face kind of movie, and that's exactly what I got. Um, yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, you want me to say it's bad? Because it's not. The whole time I felt like I was laughing too much. But maybe that's good. Because somehow Theo Vaughn is hysterical. David Spade is super funny. Even when he's got a dramatic moment, he's still kind of funny. This is genuinely one of the funniest movies I've ever watched. It's just the only real complaint I have is it's too short, and I feel like certain characters kind of drag a little bit. Like the manager character kind of stinks, whatever. There's the handsome waiter who ends up getting the assistant manager job. Okay. And then like there was the plot twist that that guy in the wheelchair, he's actually like a part of a underground drug cartel. Crazy, different. You know what I mean? I did enjoy it, so I'm not really too crazy about some of the supporting cast, but I'm gonna give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty funny. We need more movies like this because we don't have enough, clearly. And finally, to top off the end of this video, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Surprisingly more entertaining than the Pow Pow Fish. Surprisingly more entertaining. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is still bad. Just as bad as the Pow Pow Fish, and just as bad as The Bride. There is a catch, though. The Mummy actually gave me the heebie-jeebies. A bad, scary movie actually got me scared. I'm shocked to say it. There are moments where I actually felt freaked. Like Katie, for example, going into the sarcophagus. That whole scene from the VHS being played on the VCR to the TV to the parent on the parent's TV or on her parents' TV. Oh my god. Absolutely horrifying. It is one of the most disgusting things I have ever watched. There is a lot of downsides. The magician character stinks, and she's extremely annoying. I hate her entirely. The father character is just completely useless. The mom isn't doing enough. The grandma sucked. Yeah, and then she gets killed off because, of course, that just makes so much sense. The brother character stinks. Katie's able to possess both of her siblings, which is insane. And then, like, the worst part about all of this, she gets kidnapped through a sandstorm. In, like, the goofiest way ever. I'm, like, flabbergasted. There's so much bad pacing on this, it's ridiculous. The camera work doesn't make it better. At some points it does, some points it doesn't. Majority of the time it really doesn't. And I think that just the gross throw-up effect from the mouth to the other mouth of the mummy, I don't like it. It's too gross for me. Too much. Now, when I think there's the other lady. There's another lady who comes from Egypt, and she's aware of Katie's disappearance. She comes in and tries to help out the family, which is a decent thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, you knew the case more than everybody else. Of course, you got to go help them out. But, like, my God, like, this was a tough watch to get through. This also, the runtime is just horribly long. Like, way too god awfully long. It is about 2 hours, almost 2 hours and 20 minutes. For a movie like this, it should not be that long. You put way too much exposition. Way too much. That is insane. I'm actually like flabbergasted at how horribly paced, strangely acted, with the exception of Katie, and like just like all around unamused, with the exception of a couple scares here and there, especially the VCR one. That one, that again, the taping of her going into the sarcophagus is still one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen in a horror movie. But as a movie, it is just a tough watch to get through. It's just uncomfortable. It's super uncomfortable. Like, it's just not a good movie at all. There's some redeeming qualities, but like, they don't make the movie better. I'm giving it a 1.5 out of 10. It is genuinely one of the worst horror movies I have ever watched. Like, it's bad. It is unbelievably bad. I thought that there was potential to make a good scary movie, and they were trying to adapt the 30s horror movie, not the 90s adventure one with Brendan Fraser. No one even asked for this. Like, I remember when the trailer dropped, I wasn't even gonna watch this. But then I heard that the critics didn't like it, so I was like, I gotta know what's up. And I see what's up. It's just bad. It's just awful. And with that, I'm gonna head out for tonight. Again, before I go, here are the movies that you will be getting a review from, either from YouTube Shorts or from my YouTube channel. It is Dead Man's Wire, The Rip, Night Patrol, Shelter, The Moment, The Strangers Chapter 3, Solo Mio, Crime 101, How to Make a Killing, Forbidden Fruits, Pizza Movie, Mermaid, You, Me, and Tuscany, the 2026 remake of Faces of Death, The Christophers, Beast, Balls Up, and Mother Mary. You are getting those reviews at some point within the next 2 months. And then I will do another reviews of movies I've watched stream, I want to say in July. Either the end of June, beginning of July. You're going to get it at some point around that time. So just be on the lookout. We got a lot of big movies coming up. Let me think. Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out. We got Mortal Kombat 2, the movie, not the game. There's another movie. I think there's a Billie Eilish concert film, but I'm not going to watch that. Why? I'm not wasting my time with that. Is there anything, any movies y'all want me to make a suggestion for that I need to go check out before I get out of here? Well, somebody puts it in the chat. I'm going to take out a couple of these movies. Oh, looks like one of my buddies might message me. Okay. I think my buddy just. I look like Fiona. Bro. Maybe you look like Fiona. Stop saying I look like Fiona. I'm a dude. Fiona got like a short bob, and she's green. I'm tan. What are we doing? Or like an apricot tan. What are we doing? All right, whatever. Heading out for tonight. Thank you guys for joining the stream. 40 minutes. That's actually pretty good timing, actually. I'm gonna head out for tonight. I will see you guys hopefully in the next stream or the next video, whatever I upload. Take it easy, guys. God, the Mummy sucked. It was awful.